I'll be speaking to a mirror catatonic dialectic. This is what we do, this is why we do it. I'm thinking that I know myself, but is it even true yet? See patterns everywhere, I'm a neurotic. Fibonacci's golden number fills my mind, is chaotic.
Yes boys, welcome back to the Honey Project. My name's Nick Flynn and you're watching Hector Reacts. Let's go! So Hector Reacts is going to be a little bit different today because obviously I created this video. So what I'm going to do is break down the concept and the idea behind the video, tell you how it all came about and where it come from. I'm going to break down each edit and tell you why it's there, what the meaning behind it is, and why I did it in that sort of way, and why each part of the video is that part of the video. And I'm also going to let you in on some secret hidden Easter eggs that are hidden within the video that unless you've going to break it down like I am, you probably wouldn't notice, but they are there for a reason. So stay to the end to find them out. Right boys, so let's get right into the video. Let's go. Director my B-boy.
The horizon. The horizon. The horizon.
Obviously we've got some little doodles on the money there. If you notice, that is actually the Hector tag. You all know Hector if you're on this channel, and if you don't, Hector is the little honey guy that's in my logo, and you'll see him popping up in a lot of videos and stuff like that. So we've got the Hector tag on the money, boy.
All you have to do is be silent. The horizon.
That is an ashtray. The alien is an ashtray, and that is such a fucking sick ashtray. So that is why we had it in there, just because it was fucking cool.
The horizon.
Drew some faces on Lizzie, rest in peace. This was actually filmed before Lizzie passed away, so no disrespect there, Lizzie, but yeah, it is what it is now.
Compromise, all you have to do is be silent.
I'm a hedonist.
So he says, I'm a hedonist, and if you don't know what a hedonist is, hedonism is basically someone that follows the pursuit of happiness. That's what they sort of believe in, which is quite ironic because the mask he wears is a very dull expression. So in this part of the video, there's obviously a very black and white colour scheme in this really white room, which is quite an unnatural setting, which was supposed to be the feeling of that sort of video, because obviously he's quite an unnatural looking guy with the mask on and stuff like that. So to match the mask and the black and white image, we did a black and white colour scheme. That was my idea. It also makes him really pop out and stand out in the video, and it looks quite strange, uncanny, it's quite eerie. That was the feeling I was trying to go for with the colour scheme.
I'm a non-religious Methodist. I'm plotting schemes, planning dreams, and I'll settle this. Jigsaw pieces, my beliefs, yes.
So that transition there, the jigsaw pieces, my beliefs, yes, is also, it's very self-explanatory. Obviously, jigsaw pieces building up his face, but the jigsaw pieces are actually from different masks. So we had the Anonymous mask, and he's talking about his beliefs, and Anonymous exposed truths contrary to what people have believed due to what they've been told. Anonymous exposes them, so that was the reason for including the Anonymous mask, and that's the only point in the video we actually included the Anonymous mask, and it was just for that specific reason. And then the other masks were the laughter and trauma masks. So we had the cheeky boy mask and we had the trauma mask, and my idea was that they express the feelings you get when you're told something contrary to your belief. You can often feel quite you can grieve over the process because there's something you believed was completely true, it's completely blown out in the water, and you find something out that it actually was. It can be a grieving process. Therefore the trauma mask, the laughter mask, is in obviously there's quite a humorous side to it as well. It's just a really diverse, contrasting set of expressions just to convey about having jigsaw pieces of beliefs. You don't know whether to believe them, laugh, or cry. That was the idea behind the transition.
Stop being facetious, I breathe this.
So I'm not being facetious, I breathe this. So the word facetious, if you're unaware, because I was when I initially heard it, means treating a series of serious issues with a deliberately inappropriate humour. It's basically laughing about stuff you shouldn't laugh about. And the reason I included the cheeky boy mask was because it expresses that perfectly. It's cheekily laughing at stuff that you shouldn't laugh about, because the rap has quite a deep meaning, underlying, quite a deep lyrical rap, basically just saying that he's laughing about this serious issues that he's talking about. And I thought that mask and this part of the video expressed that pretty well.
I speak a lot of truth, but I speak so esoteric. I'm hearing.
So as you can see in this, there's a group of followers behind him, and that is because esoteric means intended to be heard by a select group of people. So a select group of followers. So the whole concept for this was to have a small like-minded following behind him to express.
Speak a lot of truth, but I speak so esoteric. I'm hearing twisted words by groups so weak, pathetic. Do they really mean it? Chasing points, impending social credit. So
with the phone transition, impending social credit, talking about people always trying to get likes, wanting validation from people online, and just for nonsense really. It doesn't really mean anything, does it?
Chasing points, impending social credit. I'll be speaking to a mirror catatonic dialectic.
So I'll be speaking to a mirror catatonic dialectic. I don't know if you noticed this when you were watching the music video, but in the mirror, the mask actually has no mouth, and that's because catatonic Catatonic means basically you're unresponsive, you're reacting very little or not at all to your surroundings. And dialectic means discovering the truth of something by arguing and discussing different points. So by catatonic dialectic, you're unresponsive within an argument where you're trying to find truth. So he's looking in the mirror at himself, but he himself can't speak. That was my idea that I thought captured catatonic dialectic.
I'll be speaking to a mirror catatonic dialectic. This is what we do, this is why we do it. I'm thinking that I know myself, but is it even true yet? See patterns everywhere, I'm a neurotic.
See patterns everywhere, I'm a neurotic. So I did the spirals in his eyes, because neurotic is basically a state of anxiety where you're just going absolutely skits, you're just like going nuts. It basically stops you from doing any normal things whatsoever, and you have completely irrational behavior. And obviously neurons are like what fire in your brain and make everything go. So to show this like inside of his mask, because like obviously his eyes are normally blacked out, so to show there's like something going on in there, it's like almost like he's going nuts in there. Do you know what I mean? That was the idea of that.
I'm a neurotic. Fibonacci's golden number fills my mind is chaotic.
Fibonacci's golden number, we'll get onto that later when I tell you a bit about a secret hidden Easter egg in the video.
But is it even true? Yeah, I spit this verse like I'm under a curse. I consciously disperse and coerce with my words.
The horizon.
I consciously disperse and coerce with my words. So by that he's meaning he intentionally persuades a large wide group of unwilling people with what he's saying. And what better way to show that visually than to show the thing that coerces the masses in real life? The news. That is literally the definition of the news. They control the masses through coercion, through the words and images they show on the TV. Hence Incognito as a newsreader on the telly. So then we come out of the telly, some breaking news, obviously really important shite. He's in the gaff. Couple jibs on the floor, popcorn, KFC and that. Taking it easy, you know. Hey, the funky ashtray, let's go. So obviously, because I included the news on the TV, I thought it'd come out of the TV, it's chilling. It's a really good, like, I just added some humour in there, because obviously talking about being facetious and that, about the whole concept of the deep underlying meaning, obviously talking about coercion of the masses and stuff like that, but you gotta add a bit of humour, because you gotta be facetious about these things, don't you? So I thought I'd include some adverts and in flicking through the channels, loads of shite TV, shite daytime TV, that it's just shit in it. And obviously it's him on every channel. I mean, that's a bit of humour, and it was also a good way to transition into the next scene, which is a completely different location because we go into the forest.
We think that I earned that £250,000 that I've been given this week.
Taking a piss about how much football has been paid.
First we've got a bag of flour and a bag of pasta, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be mixing this flour and pasta together, and this will be the end result. This is what the fuck is this?
Just basically taking the piss out of daytime TV and how it's just a distraction from your life, basically.
I'm flowing through this forest and my thoughts are resounding. These visions, premonitions, they just seem to be founding. This flow state, I flow great, I grow with apostate.
So obviously the reason we're in a forest is because he says I'm flowing through a forest and my thoughts are resounding, so it just makes sense. So I can imagine you understand why the tea leaves bit was there, coming out the cup and seeing premonitions in the tea leaves. It's like an age-old thing that people know, to see things in the leaves, like on Harry Potter in divination class, stuff like that. Just like seers and fortune tellers, things like that. Because he's talking about disbanding his beliefs from things in tea leaves. So my perception of it initially was that he'd been taking psychedelics and stuff like that. But I don't know if he does that stuff, but it is like that age-old thing of seeing things into the future through patterns in the leaves. Also, time for one of the secret Easter eggs that are hidden in the video. So if you notice, there's a lot of wanted posters behind him. They were like a hint to say like he's wanted for speaking the truth and stuff like that. Like people get cancelled and censored off the internet for speaking a certain way, and like that's why anonymous are anonymous, basically, isn't it? Because they're speaking about controversial topics that maybe aren't part of this agenda that maybe someone's got going on, some group of something like that has got going on. We don't really know, do we? Fucking Illuminati or something, fuck knows. But that was the hint. He's obviously wanted for speaking about these things, hence the wanted posters. But if you look closely at the wanted posters, there's a number, and it's the amount you'll get as a reward if you find him. So the number is 1618033, and that is Fibonacci's golden number, the golden ratio. If you don't know what the golden ratio is, fucking look it up because it's fucking nuts. It's basically a certain sequence of numbers, and it's the divine ratio, and you see it in a lot of living things, a lot of Earth, a lot of the universe. It turns into a spiral. It's fucking nuts. Look it up. And there's a reason Fibonacci's golden number fills his mind. It's chaotic.
The risk that we take is like dice. You roll 2 ones, you get a snake, those eyes.
It's obviously double meaning there. Snake eyes on a dice is double 1, and obviously I'd edited in some actual snake reptile eyes, because you never know, do you? There's a lot of conspiracies about that too, but that's not specifically why it's mentioned in the song.
We made think twice, my flow's precise. I'm like a scholar dishing wisdom like a wizard. I hope that you can swallow. I know that I'll deliver when your knowledge is minimal, because we're living in a world that's controlled by criminals. You need to learn to live a life.
We're living in a world that's controlled by criminals. Hints to the Illuminati and the underlying government there. You can see we've got Hillary Clinton, classic criminal, Bill Gates, Boris Johnson, and Justin Trudeau. All controversially criminals, depending on your beliefs. But you're looking at these guys, they've got some sus stuff about them. So my idea for this bit was to zoom out, and they're all talking, debating like the new world order and like how the world's gonna go on this table. But they're all like angry at each other and throwing bits of paper and stuff like that. And then Incognito's in the back, just they're all oblivious to him, and he just flips the table because he's fucking sick of it.
Barrel down in madness, there's kisses and blood. I'm gonna end this last verse with the overarching principle. Make sure you're gaining knowledge like a scholar, be invincible, cause this is what we do. This is why we do it. I'm thinking that I know myself, but is it even true? Yeah, I feel my body's trapped within an earthly cycle. Dismantle consciousness just like I'm John from the Disciples.
Just like I'm John from the Disciples. So right there, makes sense. Finish off with the Last Supper scene, resembling that, but everyone's got blank faces. We got a bit of bread, we got a bit of wine, bit of tasty bread and wine, you know what I mean? You can't beat a good meal like that. So yeah, that was just basically the idea. It zooms right out, picture on the wall, and it's just a big old closure on the video. Obviously resembling the Last Supper painting by Leonardo da Vinci, which was obviously of Jesus and obviously of Jesus and the disciples and stuff like that, and he's on about John from the Disciples, so it all just made sense in my brain. Cool little transition as well, how it turned into painting. I quite like that one. I think that's probably my favourite transition in the video, to be honest. Yeah,
I feel my body's trapped within an earthly cycle. Dismantle consciousness just like I'm John from the Disciples.
And as the video closes, we've got a few shots of the gallery, a few shots of just the world and what's going on. It ends on a nice sky. We're showing the sky and stuff like that. I feel like it's just this nice feeling of almost like relief, like you've been told like all this like heavy shit, and then someone's like, ah, do you know what I mean? Similar to like a mushroom trip. So you're like, it's really intense, you learn a lot about yourself and stuff like that, and then as you're on the come down, it's really bliss and you feel just super relaxed and all that stuff. So I guess you've been taken on a trip, you've been taken on a journey by watching the video. That is it. Thank you to everyone who helped out in the video, and I hope you liked my Hector reacts and breakdown of the music video. If you like this video, let me know in the comments, because I'll do them for every music video I create in the future. Make sure you drop a like, drop a subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Honey Project for extra content and some cool shit going down on there. I do a lot of like Photoshop work with stuff like this popping up every now and then, so follow us if you want to see that shit, and then follow Honey Productions if you want to get in touch for a music video or just see what we've got going on down there. So drop a few follows on the socials, and that is the end of the video, boys, so I'll see you later. Peace.